Come.
Are you going to give me an introduction?
Action. Action.
Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic.
No, you're not recording.
And today I'm going to be talking about the September 30th to October 1st Godfest that is going live on Sunday. So, in this sweet and informative video, the pretty pancake has departed from the screen, unfortunately. But fear not, I will still soldier on. The show must go on. But this Godfest is basically continuing the trend of bi-monthly Godfest. And the main problem is regular Godfest nowadays have become so sad in the sense that there are only 17 featured 6 and or 7-star Godfest exclusive cards. And because of that, the overall rolling rates are about 10%, if that. Furthermore, there should be either like the Dragonbound Dragoncaller and a Super Godfest style coming up in the very near future. And on Monday, we actually had the Beach Reg Machine collab in October, of course, because, you know, logic. But the point of the matter is, like, this Godfest is average overall. Like, it's nothing special, it's nothing amazing, so you may not necessarily want to roll here. But for the sake of this video, I will still review the featured cards in terms of the ranking I have for my own tier list, as well as talking about the new Ameno and Kami evolutions. So, basically, for the formats of Godfest nowadays, if it lists a Godfest exclusive as or basically if the Godfest exclusive is listed in the section of not available, they will be unable to be rolled. So you only have this pool of 17 Godfest exclusives to draw upon. And again, this roster is reasonably average for the most part. And I do keep track of who has and has not been featured. Fenrir Viz has been absent for 3 Godfests in a row, if I'm not mistaken. And then Madu, Dark Metatron, Kaede, Kana have been absent for 2 in a row. So there are 2 new evolutions in this Godfest that are significant for the 6 stars that are featured here. The first is Ameno, with a name I cannot pronounce. And Ameno has now become incredibly viable and powerful. Their split evolution allows them to have more functionality and more diversity. However, for the most part, the blue light form tends to be a little stronger overall. Now, both Amenos feature the exact same active skill of changing the board to water, light, and heart orbs, and then changing his own personal attribute into light for 3 turns on a 9-turn cooldown. So this is a tri-elemental board changer and a little bit of personal damage for himself. His leader skill in this form is light attribute card 6 times attack. That is a flat multiplier. That always occurs no matter what you do. You have 36 times multiplier, which is important because if you're in the context of Arena 3 farming, this is very efficient and fast because you stack 7 combo awakening cards and bam, you suddenly deal very meaningful amounts of damage. Water attribute cards have 2 times recovery, so Ameno himself gives you 2 times recovery, and then you get 2 times attack when simultaneously connecting 5 or 3 times when connecting 6 orbs. So when you connect 6 light orbs in a row, that's basically a row, you tap into 324 times attack damage. That is blisteringly high. That's going to be enough to sweep most content, and Ameno in this form still has meaningful damage. He has Dragon and Devil Killer Awakenings along with Void Damage Penetration. So VDP is very useful in Arena 3 for blasting through Noah Dragon, Zeus Dragon, and Gaia Dragon. And the fact that Ameno has that VDP plus Dragon Killer on top of the fact that he's connecting bloblets of light orbs is truly amazing. And it's going to make him quite powerful for the most part. Like I did an Arena 3 clear with Pancake's account. It went so flawlessly. Like Noah Dragon was absorbing the wrong colors. Bam, 1 shot, easy peasy. Did not need a gemstone burst or any spike whatsoever. Ameno just did enough damage all on his own. So it was pretty wonderful. And in all honesty, this is the form that I would pursue for most players. And the reason being is, like, this Ameno, which is the leader form, their leader skill is different. They have 2.25 times health and recovery unconditionally for water and light attributes, so you have some flexibility. But you cap out at only 182 times damage. But the problem is you have bad awakenings for the most part. You have no personal damage, and having no personal damage is a big drawback for any leader, because even with 182 times damage, which is maybe a bit on the low to middle end of the spectrum, the fact that Ameno, basically 1/3 of your team, is dealing small amounts of damage is going to be problematic. So you have like a durable team with mediocre damage output. Nothing special. Yes, you can activate by connecting any 5 orbs. It could be 5 poisons, 5 jammers, 5 whatever you want. But the point is, like, you may not be hitting as hard, and it's just not going to be as easy to use in terms of also damage control as the other form for the most part, because if you don't connect 5 orbs, you have only 2.25 times attack. That's nothing. It's not going to kill anything. So I honestly would prefer this Ameno's leader form for the vast majority of content. The next card is Cammy, whose name I also cannot pronounce, and she's kind of like Dark Yogg in the sense that both of them are HP sensitive leaders, as well as being able to spike up to very high amounts of damage with minimal combos matched. And in the case of Cammy, it's Dark and Wood Orbs. So Cammy in this sub form has the same active skill of increased Skyfall chance of Enhance Orb by 50% for 3 turns and recover 30% max health. Pretty terrible active skill for the most part, but having a 5-turn cooldown means it's easy to inherit over top. Her leader skill is very similar to her leader form. It's 5 times attack when above 80% health, and then 2.25 times when below 80. And then you have 3.5 times attack and 25% damage reduction when matching Dark and Wood Orbs. So these can all stack with each other. So you have very large amounts of damage output. But the thing is, her awakenings are a little problematic in a way. Like 3 skill boosts is nice with follow-up attack. I believe it's only Lakshmi that actually has 3 skill boosts and a follow-up attack. So this can be important for certain challenges where you have short dungeons, you need a follow-up attack, you need to bring certain inherits, things have to come up by floor 1. This can be a nice solution as a sub. But the problem is the 10 combo awakening does not have much merit or usage because on a 6x5 board, it's very unlikely you're going to hit 10 combos. So it's really, you want to use them on a 7x6. You might not necessarily be playing 7x6 all the time. So this Cammy's evolution form is a little problematic. If that was a simple 7 combo, it'd be a pretty easy decision possibly instead. But now we come to the leader form of Cammy. And the leader form of Cammy, in all honesty, I feel is a stronger option as a sub even. And even though you do lose out on 2 skill boosts, you have a 7 combo instead of 10 combo awakening. So you're much more consistent on a regular board, which is probably where you're going to be using her more often. Furthermore, her stats are more heavily skewed to recovery, which is important because she's a god type, which can be used in the new Dark Metatron evolution, and having a huge base for recovery on one card can help solve some of your healing problems. Now, the only drawback of less skill boosts is naturally skills don't come up as fast, but again, skill boosts have diminishing returns. Once you have your active skills charge up, it does no good for your team unless you're using Carrot for your gemstone burst and you really need that extra 0.6 multiplier. But other than that, this is the form that I am personally going to be pursuing for my own Cammy on my Mantastic account for Dark Metatron because God typing, follow-up attack, also can take Dragon Killer Latents. It's going to be what I need to have on my Dark Metatron team. And this is kind of just a repost on my website for Saline. Basically, the general idea is that Saline gives 1.8 times rank experience after a battle, so you can leader swap with Matcha or Lee, and you can kind of replace Ganesha for a lot of easy, fast, efficient farming. Basically, the multipliers for experience is 1 Ganesha is 1.5, 1 Saline is 1.8, and then 2 Salines is 3.24 versus double Ganesha of 2.25 times. So again, rank farming becomes much easier with Saline, but Saline's not even featured in this Godfest, so it's kind of a moot point, but I just want to have it included in case people missed that article or video. Now this comes to my Godfest exclusive tier list. Again, this tier list is my own personal making. As with any tier list for any game, as well as created by any other person, you should take them all with a grain of salt. They have some chance for personal bias or things are over or underlooked, but the point of the matter is you should use these as a starting point of reference. And for myself, I try to evaluate the card based on their value as like a leader, sub, or inherit, and how well they can fulfill any specific role and how niche or special they are for the most part. So in this Godfest here, we have like about 50% of the S-rank cards featured, but again, it's just an average Godfest with average rates. This is nothing special. And like I said, with Beach coming out on Monday, Dragonbound Dragon Color soon, a Super Godfest soon as well, there are much better things to spend your magic stones on. So in all honesty, I would probably just be skipping all of Godfest. Any regular Godfest you really should be skipping because they've nerfed them so hard to the point that you're just better off saving and waiting for a better event in all honesty. And this is because of the way the Godfest exclusive trading post works, because right now we are able to exchange, for example, 4 6-star Godfest exclusives in for a rare collab card. So because Beach is coming out on Monday, Barbara and Julie is one of the strongest leaders in the game. It might be very worthwhile for a player to monster exchange for their 6-star Godfest exclusives for Barbara and Julie, especially if they don't have a Dark Metatron team. It might open up new doors for them to clearing content, but that's kind of how Godfest work. You roll to get the 6 stars and then exchange them in collabs that you don't want to actually roll in. Now, this is kind of just like a little snapshot of some of the featured cards. But basically, the Samurai 2 Pantheon is arguably one of the strongest Pantheons in the game because all the cards, for the most part, have great value because they either can be a wonderful sub or inherit based on the evolution path you choose. You have nice tri-elemental boards with plus combo counts. You might have 5 elemental boards with a damage reduction shield, as well as healthy double 7 combo awakenings. So again, there are powerful Pantheon, but it's not really that worthwhile because it's just featured in a boring Godfest. And in terms of the 5-star Godfest exclusives featured, only really Sari has true value and meaning at this point in time, mostly because it has at least a follow-up attack, something at least somewhat helpful, but everything else is kind of awkward for the most part. So like I said, you kind of want to utilize the Monster Exchange system to trade in for cards. So like, for instance, Yusuke, Beach, Barbara, and Julie, those sort of things. Trade in for those high-value cards to help advance yourself through the game. So, in conclusion, this is average Godfest overall. Like, there's nothing special about it. The rolling rates are probably going to put them at about 10%, and Super Godfest usually were around 24% rolling rates. So, again, this is not that amazing for the most part. Like, even if a Super Godfest costs you 7 stones with 24% rolling rate, the adjusted stone cost still puts you much ahead by comparison to a vanilla Godfest. So, let me know what you think about this event in the comments below. Do you think Ameno is amazing or Kami is amazing, and which evolution path you chose to pursue? Hopefully you all have a fantastic day. I wish you all the best of luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.